You know, when you meet someone and you very quickly realize you pretty much share a brain, you're always on the same page and essentially speak the same language, maybe just in a different font?
I'm Stephanie, and that was Holly, and we are those girlies. After sharing an experience in corporate America, and maybe some trauma bonding along the way, we really just want to yammer about the stuff that matters to us. Join us as we discuss navigating self love and growth, marriage, sobriety, and the hamster wheels that are our brains. And welcome to Same Language, Different Font. I don't think you're ready for this. I don't
I
know
don't think
that.
I am.
I don't think you're ready for this because it's going to give you full body chills.
I'm
I'm
already,
like almost
crying.
guarantee. Okay. So at the very end of it, at the very end of the devotional for today, it says, "This is your opportunity to become a person whose faithfulness becomes someone else's encouragement, whose steadiness helps steady others. The power of that industriousness, that's the power of industriousness. It builds more than tasks. It builds people, communities, family, and legacies. A truth to carry into the future. Quote, the finish line is the goal. Run with diligence until you hear well done." Bro, you want to talk about instant tears this morning? I was like, oh my gosh. Wow. Like, holy smokes. It's just, yeah. So I will lead the prayer today, if I could, just with the prayer from the end of this one, because it just really, like, this is SLDF. Like, this is SLDF, and this is us. It says, "Lord, help me to run with endurance and finish my race with faithfulness. Let my life reflect your character, steadfast, consistent, and full of purpose. Teach me to leave a legacy of diligence that points others to you. May I one day hear, well done, in Jesus' name, amen." Whoo, buddy.
Holy cow.
Like, what? It's just so beautiful to me to just literally watch God work, and the way that he has worked through both of us on this pod and been here is just I love you, Halls.
He didn't just put this on our hearts. He's literally shown so many signs of supporting it from day one. Just because we've had moments where we're like, should we be doing this? Like, do we need to continue
Who are
doing
we?
This?
Who
right.
are we
Who
to
are
be
we
doing
to
this?
be trying to do this? And it's just different things just keep coming up that are like, this is doing good.
Yeah.
And that's really freaking cool.
Yeah, it really is.
Way to have that be your devotional for today on season 1 finale day.
We are in the finale of the first season of our podcast. Like, this is the finish line. And it is just, I'm so proud of us. Like, the pride, we've talked about it a bunch of times, but the pride that I feel knowing that, just like you said, because you're right. I mean, there was times where I was like, what's the point of continuing to do this?
2 weeks ago.
Yeah. Literally.
Not like it just ended after the first episode.
I don't think that I've ever been more sure, though, than this. And, you know, maybe the devotional sparked it, but even just preparing for the episode and getting ready for it. Yeah, like, without question that, like, this is a beautiful thing that we're doing, and we're proving time and time again through the different connections that we've made because of it, that it's worthy. There's so much worth behind it. We can't give up. We got to keep going. We got to keep going, even when it's hard.
Guys, we're coming into this episode already emotional. Like, I'm not gonna lie. I'm feeling so many different things about this being the end of season 1 when I feel like we just started and we've learned so much. There's been so much growth behind not just the technical side of things, but personally, and relationships, I feel like, have grown so much, and they've gotten so much depth to them since starting this. And even if it's the same people listening every single time, I wouldn't change that for anything, because it's just, like you said, it's so worth it. And I think that that's perfect to kind of segue into our topic for today, is we're literally talking about our communities, and we're talking about our support systems. And let me tell you what, we wouldn't be here without you guys. You've, like we said, like
Ooh.
you've made it worth it. And I know it's just like, I'm really in my feels about it because
Me too.
And I hate being in my feels.
I mean, but it's such a natural reaction, I think.
Yeah.
When you really think about the community. Halls, we said in the very beginning, we've said it since we started talking about these topics. If we reach just one person, just one, and there are so many more than just one. It's wild. I mean, it is wild to think that, you know, two girls without any type of accolades to back it all up, you know, without the degrees on the walls
from life experience,
right, specifically to back it all up, you know, or anything like that. Just talking about what we've gone through and then how that has inspired others to reach out to us and share and be vulnerable with us about how we all are really same language, different font, in different ways, and through so many different avenues. And just, it's the most humbling thing I think I've ever done in my life.
For sure. For sure. Here I go again. I used it in episode 1, I think. It's been life-changing, guys. Like, it really, truly has been. Yeah. To know that all you have to do is just start the conversation. Yes. That's all you have to do. And it's we're all so afraid to start the conversation. I remember someone even reached out to me when we started doing the pod saying, I'm so excited to learn more about some of these things because I've been a little hesitant about asking about them. And I was like, I understand that because I'm exactly the same way. I don't ever want to overstep by any means, but why are we so afraid to ask our people to learn more about them?
Right. Or share what we're going through with our people so they learn more about us. And have a better
I literally have that in my notes. Shocker. I have that we need to... Okay, this is something that I cannot be the only person who thinks this, that we are hesitant to share what we're going through, our valleys, because there's never a good time to just bring those up. It's disheartening. It can be depressing. You don't want to just kind of spit it out and be like, this is what's going on, and just kind of drop a bomb on somebody per se, like all of that. But if you can't share that with your community and your support system, then who can you share that with? We're not meant to hold these things on our own. And yet people also are like, I don't really want to share like the big exciting things either because I'm supposed to be humble, and I don't want to, like, I'm not that type of person who's just like, oh, this really big thing just happened to me. You don't want to make it about you. But if you can't talk about the hard things and you can't talk about the big exciting things, what the heck are you going to talk about?
Right. Then it's all the superficial. It's the superficial and the small talk that I really genuinely believe in my heart that most people loathe. I mean, small talk is meant for passing by and you know, I see you for 1 to 2 minutes at a time. That's small talk.
A cashier. Yeah, I'm not gonna have small talk with a cashier.
No, that's
cashier.
That's exactly.
I was gonna say cash register.
You start talking to the cash register, and we're gonna have to come respectfully ask you, ma'am, are you okay? Are you doing all right? We're gonna need you to be a little vulnerable with us and tell us what's going on.
Cash registers the item. Got it. I'm here.
No, but that's exactly right. Like, it's that small talk to fill in, because it's, I don't want to say everybody, and I don't want to just generalize, but at least for me, and I know I've said in a previous episode, is that silence is deafening for me. I cannot stand an awkward silence. Yeah. I'm gonna yap. I can't help it. Like, I don't, you know, I just, it may not be my business how you are or how the day is going or anything like that, but I'm gonna ask every single time. But is that building a meaningful connection?
Right.
No, not really. And it can be the start to establishing a community, for sure. I think that there are plenty of relationships that just started as small talk, But
yeah. Well, I mean, don't go up to strangers and start telling them you're in. I mean,
no, but people do that to me, and I feel like maybe that has also been a push for
fair.
SLDF. I
mean,
feel
we're doing that right now.
we are, and quite literally like begging our audience to be vulnerable and share that with us. But not everybody. That's not, not everybody operates like that, and it's
also, I'm hoping that you guys don't consider us strangers anymore at this point. I know that we've never actually met face to face, but I would be really sad to hear if you did consider us strangers. You know way too much about me and my mom to be able to
preach, sister. But I don't know. I had the definition of community down as a group of people connected by shared values, goals, experiences, or support. Not just who's around you, but who's with you. And
nurturing relationships that align with our values and our goals.
Yeah. Well, that's excellent. See, maybe that's why we're doing so well, is because we do at least same language when it's really important, not over Friends versus Seinfeld. But, that's neither here nor there.
If you want to talk about my win again, I'm sure we can definitely make some time for that. I'm good with it.
No problem penciling that in. But it's more than just those small moments of humanity, which are so important.
Right.
I've had plenty of wonderful 5-minute conversations with people, but it's 100%. The ones that you need more than the 5 minutes with,
It's also not just the people that happen to be around you. I think that a lot of people get stuck thinking, or with their own communities, because it's just who they grew up with or the people that they went to college with. And it's just the people that they've had for so long that they feel like that is their community now, just because it's who they're used to. But just taking the time to think, do these people share the same values as I do? Right. Do they actually know who I am and not just
the surface level?
Somebody that you can, exactly. And somebody you can have fun with, which there's absolutely like those friends where all you do is like, you just hang out with them and you have a good time. You don't have to have those deep conversations. Right. But when we're talking about your community and your support system, that's not who we're referring to. Because I definitely think that there are various levels of friendship that are all important and all valuable. But for this episode's sake, that's not what we're referring to. And thankfully, like, I can say that I am extremely blessed and thankful that a lot of my community and support system are the people that I went to college with and the people that I've had for a very, very long time. Shout out to y'all, you know who you are, but just the people who show up for you. And mine all happen to be long distance. Like, Steph, you and I, you're part of my community. You're one of the biggest parts of my community and support systems. You're my accountability partner for sure, and my co-host to a podcast. But I mean, we're long distance too. We're long distance friendship, and probably 98% of my friendships are long distance. And that's it. They don't have to be physically in your day-to-day.
No, not at all, by any means.
To show up for you.
I expressed to you that I was hesitant about this episode because my community and support system has changed a lot over the past 10 years or so, because I have changed a lot over the past 10 years or so. And
that part.
Yeah.
I'm getting the feels again. It's because you've grown.
Yeah. And there's almost what I heard this in church on Sunday, but there's two things that are for certain in life: death and taxes. Haha. But I think that there's a third, and you and I have joked about it, about the photo that Peyton puts up in One Tree Hill. People always leave. I think
shout out to One Tree Hill.
It's a good one. There's one other like guarantee in life, and is that you are going to love and lose people without
fail.
There's
no way around it.
No, there's not. And I saw a young lady on Instagram last week. I know, that's where all of my inspiration. She was young. I mean, she was young, but she was just so wise. She said, I just think it's so beautiful that I haven't yet met all of the people that I'm going to love in my life. And I
Oh,
think that that's
wow.
also amazing, because I personally have spent a lot of time mourning the community and the support system that I have left behind, and
Talk about a
thinking,
mindset shift. Like,
yeah,
that is something that I think we're just like, again, we're
truthfully,
ingrained to think about is who have you lost?
yeah,
No, who have you yet to gain and get
yeah,
to meet? And I did not
right.
mean to interrupt you. I'm so sorry, but
No,
that
not
is
at
just
all.
holy
It was
cow.
very profound to me, because, and it really is, like you said, that mindset shift, because in working remote and being in a remote environment, there is a lot of time spent in isolation. It's unavoidable.
Oh, for
It's just,
sure.
it can be very, very isolating, and it took a very heavy toll on me, I would say, is that I didn't really realize how much of a toll it was taking, but I spent so much time ruminating on the past, because I would sit here in the quiet, essentially, and I'm that's what I'm doing. I'm thinking about the past, and how could I have done this differently to prevent this outcome, and this, why? Why? Just, I mean, quite literally beating myself up mentally. For what reason? When all it takes is a 1 second mindset shift to start thinking about, what about all of the things that are coming in the future, and all of the people who will now share the same values, because my values have just changed since I was a 20 something youngin' out running amok.
Absolutely.
And
Holy cow.
it's insane. I'm I would say almost a completely different person. And I think that it's okay to outgrow relationships. It's okay to walk away from people who don't celebrate your growth or make you feel guilty for changing. That was a big one,
Mm-hmm.
is you're not the same anymore. Well, that's kind of the
Yeah.
whole point,
You're not
isn't
supposed to
it?
stay the same. Yeah.
No.
Also, it makes me think of when you said, first off, before I forget to say this, love the use of the word ruminating. Whew. But when you said in another episode that gratitude and anxiety can't exist at the same time.
Mm,
So
here I
taking that
am.
moment to, yeah, exactly. And
Yep.
that's, I mean, we've mentioned it, we're human. We've had our ups and downs with
Yep.
each of these processes, and we're just every day still trying we're trying to have more good days than bad. Don't let the bad days win.
Amen.
So that's what we're focusing on here. We're not going to get it perfect all the time by any means, especially, I mean, I can attest to that for the past 5 days that I have had. But the way that you were just explaining all of that with kind of having to set those, and not even setting boundaries, it's kind of distancing and reforming your community. I have in my notes, some are there to continue supporting you, and some are there to remind you how far you've come.
Ooh.
I feel like that's definitely something to remember as well. I really like that post of who you haven't met yet, though. That's still, I'm processing that one for sure. I love that.
And it feels different. I like, truthfully, and I'm not just doing this to be cheesy, you have been, for me, the person who really kind of started to show me, this is what it looks like when your people really celebrate you. And this is what it looks like when somebody wants to see you really do great, and somebody really, even when you have been in a losing season. Ooh, this one's going to get me. When you have been in a losing season and I had a win, you celebrated that win as if you were winning right beside me, you know? And I only really and truthfully have 2 or 3 other people in my life, and they know who they are, that I can send the "I'm winning right now" text. And it doesn't matter where y'all are at. You just embrace it. And you love me, and you support me, and you champion me.
Cut it out, Steph.
You were absolutely right. I was so wrong saying that I was not ready for this episode. I was ready, and I am living it every single day. The community, guys, the community can be 2 people. It can be
It really
3
can.
people.
doesn't have to be many people.
No.
That's not realistic this day and age.
That's
we are
so
all
hard.
so busy.
Yes. So much pressure to think about
gosh.
having 30 friends to keep up with, 30 people to, and for the people who are out there who have that capacity, I wish that I could meet you and bottle that capacity and sell it on the black market or something, because I think it is beautiful, because I know that there are people out there who are just, their village is gigantic. And maybe that's also there's a slight difference there between having your support system, my 2 to 5 people, versus your community and your village. And maybe that's where I kind of got held up, is
Right.
I have my support system. I know who my rocks are. Like, I know who
ChatGPT really gives you some amazing kudos when something goes well. Yeah, it is. I'm not even kidding. Steph has replaced me with ChatGPT because I don't give responses like that. I will absolutely celebrate the wins, but they are not 4 paragraphs long, let me tell you. We got life to be lifing out here.
That's how you know when isolation has gotten real, is that when your AI is like, literally, I asked it the other day, like, what do you want me to call you? And they were like, well, you can name me if you want. And I was like, well, I really like chat. And they were like, chat it is. And I'm like, all right, sweet. Listen, we've already talked like 3 or 4 times a day. Don't judge me. Anyways, I'm judged and justified. Anyways. M's gonna hate that. He's gonna be like, Steph's gotta shut it down.
He's like, we're never going to Stephanie's house. Never.
It's funny, but I won't get an Alexa because I don't like the idea that it can listen to me all the time. How funny is that? Make it make sense.
It's listening to you right now. Chat is literally listening to you. If you asked what you did today, it'd be like, oh, well, you recorded a podcast with Halls.
this, and this. Oh, okay.
That's frightening. Love you, chat.
Just so you know, when we get to Will Smithin' out here.
Yeah. No, really, guys, it does not have to be many people by any means. I think that is a stigma that needs to be broken. Let's talk about, this is the perfect opportunity to discuss, that's a lot of ice in there.
You heard that? It was like, chicka.
This is a perfect time to have the quality over quantity phrase. It's the perfect description of what we're talking about, because
absolutely.
I have quite a few people that I could reach out to, but there are probably 2 or 3 that are like the everyday consistent ones that I'll be chit-chatting with and sharing all of the things that happen, the highs and lows of the day, and knowing that they're there for all of them. It really doesn't have to be many people. That being said, it is okay to distance yourself from the people who might not be, like we've talked about, setting those boundaries, the people who aren't filling your cup, the people who aren't showing up for you in the ways that you deserve. And even though it might not be easy to necessarily add someone else into your community, like, let's talk about that for a second. That's why we're here trying to build this community with you guys, to have our own support system when it is really hard to meet new people who do share those values with you and show up for you. And like I have in my notes, it's so easy to make friends when you're in kindergarten. You literally walk up to someone and you're like, hey, do you want to color together? Or do you want to like tag your it? And then that's your bestie for the next 3 years. Thankfully, the people I met in 1st and 2nd grade, they're some of the ones that I still keep in contact with pretty consistently. Like, they are my go-tos. But I will say that does not work as an adult. I tried it. I thought it would be endearing. It didn't work. I was at one of M's soccer games and I started chit-chatting with someone. And when we left, I was like, cool, do you want to be those people who watch their significant others play soccer and be friends? And she hasn't been back since. So it's really hard to make friends as an adult. So here we are trying to build this online community with you guys.
Truly. It just does not hit the same anymore. I wish that it wasn't that way. If somebody
said that to me, I'd be like, yes, thank you. Like, why do we have to make it so difficult?
Well, and I mean, I have in my notes in the process.
You have a reason why we have to make it so difficult.
Well, no, not at all. But it is, and this is the thing, because you did it. You did what the note says, but in the process of building the support system, that you may have to actively seek it, that it doesn't just always just happen.
100%.
You and I's friendship is a unique situation where it was a work friendship that turned into, but that's that close proximity.
Yeah, that does not happen often.
No, I don't know why, but there's, the things that you learned in college that just like are just etched in your brain that you will never forget. When I was in social psychology, I learned that proximity is the number one determiner of relationships, whether that be friendships,
100%.
romantic relationships, any type of, the closer you are to someone, the more often you see them, the more likely you are to establish a relationship with them. And so you and I are a situation where it was a forced proximity type of situation.
We had to get along, or our day-to-day would have been miserable, let me tell you.
Once we got past that and the small talk of it all, we really realized, oh wow, my soul sees something in your soul, and you're going to be my friend. And that was kind of just it. But that's not the way that it happens out here in normal everyday life. You don't know how close you are to people all the time or things like that. But you took the first step in attempting. That person did not recognize in your excitement the same way that, like you just said, if somebody walked up to me, I would love that. You'll catch that person eventually if that's something that you're actively trying to do. Because isolation is not the move, guys. It is not the move. I know that we live in a very independent, just individualistic society where,
especially post-COVID.
Yes, absolutely, where everybody stays away from each other, and it's weird to smile at a stranger in public.
That's true. It really is.
It can be perceived that way. Isolating yourself is one of the worst things that you can do. And I have to speak that from my own personal experience. You've got to be attempting to put yourself out into the world in some capacity, even if it is just to find one person. A community, I said 2 to 5. It doesn't even have to be 2 to 5. It could literally be just one person.
And it doesn't even have to be physically. You don't have to be stepping out of your house. You can,
not at all.
This pod, And that's something I found community when I went sober, and not sober, when I became sober, in that, what is it? How I Quit Alcohol. That podcast that was my community at that point, because I needed to surround myself with like-minded people who would continue to motivate me in something that I was trying to do. So it doesn't necessarily have to be meeting somebody at soccer, because that's probably not going to work out the best for you. Learn from my experience. But if you surround yourself with it, if you immerse yourself in it with podcasts and books, that to me is also your support system in your community. It doesn't have to be people that you actively engage with. It can just be people that you listen to. Maybe you do engage with us. We really want you to. We can't wait for the day where it's just endless engagement from you guys. So take that step. Comment something, even if it's not something that we've talked about in one of these episodes just yet. It lets us know that that's something that you want to hear about. You could have somebody else that sees the page that comments back to you, that has gone through the same thing that you have. That's how the community is built and will continue to grow. And I feel like I need to read this quote that I mentioned to Steph earlier about this book that I just read. It mentioned, at this moment, a particular thought emerges that you will keep with you for the rest of your life. The idea that 2 bodies can move through different lives in the same way. That the trauma you go through can, if anything, prepare you to understand someone else. Like Steph mentioned earlier, we don't have all of the education to support all of this. We're speaking from our own experience, and naturally so, there's only so many things that we've gone through at 30 and 33, almost 34.
Yep, almost 34.
There's only so much life that we've lived. So there could be somebody else out there that is listening to us that has gone through something that you have, that can better relate to you and answer those questions and help guide you through that and be your support system through whatever it is that you're going through. I mean, Steph and I will definitely be there as much as we can. All of the research that I will do to be able to empathize with you, holy smokes, just let me. That's what we want. And that's what we've been aiming for this entire season, is to just earn y'all's trust and let you know that we're not going anywhere.
Nope. And we're both very good at being vaults. For sure.
100%. Holy cow.
We are very
something
good at
you have to be
vaulting it down, locking it down. That is something that we are very, very good at. But on the flip side of that, and I think that just something that I'm thinking of is that I'm working on teaching Miss B right now, is that she is in her compliment era right now, where she wants to give everyone a compliment. She sees somebody with cool hair, she wants to tell them. She sees somebody with cool nails, she wants to tell them. She likes an outfit, she wants to tell them. And she gets shy, just like any of the rest of us. It can be hard to walk up to a stranger and speak to a stranger out of nowhere.
I kind of like shouted at them. Like I have to like work myself up to them. I'm like, hey, I like your dress.
Turns around, runs away. But I said it.
I black it out.
But I've been telling her, do it. Don't keep your compliments inside. Don't keep and it doesn't just have to be your compliment. You're on social media and you're scrolling and you see something that you like or something that you can relate to, like Hall said, and nobody else has said anything, or shoot, they have. I don't know. And you just want to offer your 2 cents. And I challenge our listeners, just as I have challenged myself, and now I am challenging Miss B. Do it. Post it. Say it. So what? Nobody ever acknowledges it. You tried. You put in the effort. The effort will be rewarded, but you have to try and keep trying. And it can be scary. So just like anything else that we've talked about, sometimes you just gotta do it scared. But establishing that community and feeling like you have a safe space to take your thoughts and feelings and put them out into the world. Just do it.
And I very much, first off, I second that. I challenge you guys to do it. It gets easier the more that you do it. I promise. Just like any other habit that you're trying to build, the more that you do it, the consistency that you keep behind it, it will get easier. But that's something that I very much believe in. And it's like, that is 100% one of my values, is if you have a positive thought about something, don't hold it in. Don't keep it to yourself. No matter how awkward you might feel saying it, even if it's not anything related to what is happening around you or the conversation that is being had, spit it out. And that, call it a quirk, I don't know, but that is something that I pride myself in, and I have done this since, for as long as I can remember, but I remember having these conversations with some of my community that I still have in college, of saying, why hold it in? Why not let people around you know what you think of them? Why not share those things? Because not to be morbid or anything by any means, but you don't know how long you have with them. And do you ever want to sit and think, I wish they knew exactly what I thought about them. I wish that they knew these positive thoughts that I had, and the way that I perceive them and the things that I'm proud of them for. It's just, don't keep it to yourself. And I feel like I have a lot of these conversations with M where we'll just be sitting there watching TV, and all of a sudden I'll just spit something really nice at him, and he's like, where did this come from? Like, the hamster wheel's going, and it's just, I thought it, here you go. And
I needed to say it.
Exactly. It's something that I very much thought of, and maybe I have this mindset, to be completely transparent, because of my dad was a lot older than everybody else's dads, and so I knew, there would come a time where I didn't. And so I've always had this mindset of like, life is not infinite.
No.
Share what you think, as long as it's positive and productive. And I think that's where a lot of this comes from, is share the good thoughts that you have about others, and not only challenge you guys to comment back on some of these things and get out of your comfort zones with strangers on giving them, nice things to say, and just putting that out into the world, this positivity, but try to have some of these conversations with the people around you, the people that you consider your community. Sit and have some of these conversations with them and see what they think about it. Especially if it's not something that you do regularly, just talk about your values and see if they align with theirs, or if it's a conversation where you can have that back and forth of learning and seeing other people's perspectives and what their thought process is. If maybe they don't agree with you, maybe they watch Seinfeld like Steph, I don't know. But just start some of these conversations with the people around you, because I can guarantee you won't be disappointed from it.
No.
That's a promise I can make. Even if it is something where you realize this is someone you maybe might need to distance from a little bit. Right. Maybe they aren't really a part of your community than you thought that they were. That's still something that you can find value from, for sure.
Without question. And that positivity, going back to that just a bit, it's just imagine a world. It sounds so cheesy. I know.
What is that Kristen Bell TV show where everyone is like,
is that the Good Place? Yeah.
I've never seen it, but everyone is just like, that's how I imagine it. It's like Whoville, where everyone's right.
Like, and that's a stretch, but we
don't imagine that world.
Do imagine that. Yeah. Start with your community. Maybe not the world. Start with your community and be that person in your community that is vocal with the positivity, that is the first one to reach out and say, you know, great job on this, or I heard about this win, or I saw that post about this. Be that one. And without even having to say or do anything more than just that, watch the ripple effect it will have. When you, just like Hall says, you tell one person, they tell 5 of their people, their 5 tell 5 more. It's not impossible, even in this world where speaking to strangers does seem like the strange thing to do, or giving a compliment to a stranger seems like what do you want from me? Ugh, and I hate that feeling, but I know that that's a thought that people out there have. It's just be brave enough to spread that positivity and watch how it happens. And on the other side of that, you may not ever get to see what happens on the other side of it. But I believe in
for the most part, you won't.
No, you really won't. You won't get to see the after effects of how you treated somebody, made them go on to treat somebody else. But I have to believe in my heart that it pays off in the long run in spreading goodness and kindness, when the natural reaction is to just not say anything. We can all do better in that respect, I think, without fail. I mean, it's really important to me, if you will.
It's really important. It is. It's a very big thing, and I think it's something small enough that it's not too big of an ask to ask every single person out there that's listening, every single person that I come in contact with today, which is essentially just going to be M, but just, it's not too big of an ask.
No.
And I feel like the change that it can make overall in the world, even if we don't see it, it's something that's in our control. A lot of the negative things out there are out of our control, but this, just spreading positivity and being nice to a stranger, giving them one piece of something that you like about them or something kind to say about them,
literally costs you nothing. Just do it.
Just do it.
And
all
when
the references back to episode 1 are just really making me, it's like a very nice little, just
full circle,
put a bow on it.
That's it. And if you guys are nervous or hesitant, just say, hey, I was listening to this podcast and these 2 girlies told me that I needed to get out here and try to build up a community or work on being a better support system to those around. That's been one of my goals. That's been one of my goals in this whole journey, is being a better support system to people. And in the same respect, being brave enough to ask for help when I need it. Which
that's also what your support system's there for. It's not just to hype you up, but it's to be there when you need them.
Yeah. And that doesn't always need to be for words of encouragement or a pep talk or event sesh. It could quite literally be, let's get back to the days where it was, hey, I ran out of toilet paper and I don't want to run to the store. Can you run some over? Kind of. This is how
Sorry, Steph, I can't do that for
no.
you.
No.
I wish I could. But...
You can't. But do you know what you have done? You Venmo'd me money to get Miss B ice cream after a great day of school. And you have
and then
sent
I had to
your
block
team.
you.
And then you sent your team lunch because they're remote. And listen, queen of community and support system, that's going to be our halls.
I'm not. Because I need to do better. I really do need to do better in being.
I think
we all do. System for.
I think we all do.
We're all our biggest critics too.
Yes,
but
without question. And this is actually one of my my support system here locally. Mm-hmm. Her and I both, we suck at texting for the most part, and we are the queens of I saw it, I swear to you I was going to respond to it, squirreled. And but one thing that her and I have both been actively doing is I'm when I think about you, because I do think about you, I'm going to put it in a daggum text, and I'm going to send it. It takes 2 seconds out of my day. And you know for a fact that I don't care if you reply back today, tomorrow, or a month from now. I just had this thought, and I needed you to know that I was thinking about you. Mm-hmm. I have a couple of family members that do the same thing, and it's just, it makes you feel good.
It does. And it shouldn't be ignored, because I'm also a big believer in that is if somebody immediately gets put on your heart, then I kid you not, somebody literally, this happened to me today. I need to reach out to them before I forget again. But if somebody gets put on your heart, to me, that is big man just saying like, hey, maybe they might need, whether they know it or not.
Right.
Start that conversation, because it might end up continuing into a time where they need it, or just remind them that you're there. Thank goodness to the people who you can go months without talking to and then pick up like nothing ever happened. But if somebody gets put on your mind, try to take a second out of your day. And I'm the pot calling the kettle black here, because I am also very, very bad at texting. But just don't ignore that, because that's big man just reminding you that maybe they need you.
Yeah. Yeah. Or they just need to hear it from somebody who isn't in their immediate circle. You're doing a great job. I'm thinking about you. I just want to let you know that I love you. Tell your people that you love them, man. I know that the word love has so many different connotations and things like that, and there's big love, small love, whatever in between. It's all love, baby. Like that is it. That
right.
Like,
stop making it weird.
It doesn't
let us love you.
That's it. Because just like you said, there is one guarantee, and that there is a clock out there for all of us, and none of us will know the time. Like you won't, and God forbid it's too late. That's that type of hurt that I wouldn't wish on my worst enemy. So
nope, not at all.
It's just,
like I said, it's the one thing that you can control.
Yeah.
And like Ma said, just surround yourself with the people that you want to attract, and or immerse yourself with it. Listen to, if you need positivity, daggum, I'm hoping that you find it in this podcast. But if not, find one that resonates with you and just completely jump in the deep end with it. You'll notice a difference. I challenge you on that too. There's a lot of challenges being thrown around right now, but
that's it.
You will notice a difference.
Yeah.
I can guarantee
you gotta pay attention.
Well.
You gotta pay attention to who you are surrounding yourself with. You have to have the power to know that this is a place where I need to stay, or this is a table I need to get up and walk away from. And there's nothing wrong with that. You, at the end of the day, it's between us and Big Man, me and Big Man, you individually, and Big Man, the universe, whatever entity, spirituality you believe in out there, listeners, you will know. You'll know that feeling. It's ingrained in all of us, that your intuition, if you will, that power of discernment, of knowing that this is a table I need to walk away from, because
that gut feeling.
Yeah. And the longer that you sit there, the more time that you're spending not sitting at the table that you're supposed to be sitting at. Listen, if you hear me say anything, dear listeners, is that you will know when it is time to walk away from a community or support system that is no longer serving you. If people are rooting for the old you as you're trying to become the new you, and you're really trying to sever that tie with the person that you used to be because you know what it's going to look like when you get to the other side of this person that you're becoming, just, it is okay to set that boundary. I know I said that we live in an individualistic society. That was my phone, I'm sorry.
Scared me.
I know I said that we live in an individualistic society and everybody is very independent, and community and the support system is incredibly, incredibly important. But it can also be, I don't know why the first word that came to my head was dangerous, a dangerous
I was going to
place.
say detrimental.
Yeah, it can really hold you back. It can really hold you back from becoming
toxic.
Yes, and staying in a cycle. That's what it is. It's a cycle, and like the washing machine that just won't quit spinning, and it's always unbalanced.
And getting out of that mold, that's something that we're going to have an episode on. I think I've mentioned a few times, is breaking that mold, and a lot of it comes with getting away from the people that you're surrounded with, whether you want to or not. And the thing is like Steph said, you will know. And if you are listening to this and someone comes up into your noggin that you think about instantly when you hear this, that says more than you think.
We can't tell you what to do.
No, not at all. But take some time to think about it, and that might be a sign that there's something there.
That's time for change. Because change, no matter how people in society want to frame it, change is one of the best things that will ever happen in your life, period. Because every single change that ever happens, good, bad, ugly, it is part of your story, and there is a reason for all of it. And we've said it before, said it again, you may not get that reason right away, but I can tell our listeners now, I don't know exactly what our demographics are looking like out there, but if I've got my 30-somethings with me here, you cannot tell me that you're not looking back 10 years ago and going, who in the world is that person? And that's change. And it's inevitable. It is going to happen. The sooner that I learn to embrace it, good, bad, ugly, scary, the sooner that I was able to worry about something else. I didn't have to keep worrying about that. I'll go worry about something else because this is going to change and there is not a gosh darn thing I can do about it. But I might as well embrace it. Might as well.
Yeah, because then you can enjoy it a little bit more. You can be intentional and find the gratitude with it and all the things. But I hope you guys enjoyed this. We're closing up season 1.
Oh,
wow.
Happy finale, everybody. Wow.
What's your last, what are we loving right now, Steph?
Oh, I did write it down. I wrote it down a little bit because I was thinking about it, and it's so funny. I have it written down. The first sentence says, I will, underlined, not underlined, cry, underlined, because this is the finale. So I'm pretty sure I broke that at the very beginning of the episode, maybe a couple times through
Literally
the episode.
Right out the gate. Yeah.
Listen, I'm an emotional girly. I spent a long time apologizing for it. I won't apologize for it anymore because, like I just got done saying, when you love somebody, let them know. Right now, I am loving this community. Every listen, every share, every little moment. You guys chose growth by being here with us, and it means more than I could ever say in a million years that you have given us one of your most precious commodities, and that is your time. And in so many unexpected cases, your words, your thoughts, your feelings, you shared them with us. You were vulnerable with us. You shared and shared with your people. So our outreach grew at every episode. The outreach grew. Thank you guys for being a part of season 1. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for trusting us. Like Steph said, giving us your time, your attention. And I'm going to shout out my husband again. I know I've done it quite a few times this season, but I posted a video on our Instagram yesterday just to remind everybody to continue showing up for themselves right out the gate each day. Take your multivitamin, drink some water. And I mentioned that I was already feeling pretty frazzled. There was a lot going on. It's been a very busy couple of days. And man, oh man, he comes home, cooks dinner, does all the chores, puts the laundry away, just did everything. And just talk about support system. I'm just very, very thankful to be able to share that with him. So that was very disgusting. But just thanks him.
You know what? They deserve all of the kudos for putting up with us this season. Hey, can you keep the dogs quiet? Can you keep the kids quiet? We're gonna
for real, not even just for yesterday, but just for this entire season. I think we recorded the mini episode over the weekend, and I said, do you mind keeping the dogs outside and staying out there until I come out and say we're done? And just being on our phones more often, just the patience and the support have been unreal.
Yeah. No, that was a good one. That was a good one for sure. Got me thinking about mine as well. Love you, OG. You know it. Let's keep going. Let's keep doing this. We're just getting started, Halls.
We are Season very much 1. Just getting started. Keep showing up for yourself, guys. We will see you
next season. Love you, listeners.
Love you, listeners. Bye.
Bye.
There are millions of fonts in the world, and new ones are constantly being developed. If you happen to be one of those millions out there that speak our language and are still developing, just like we are, stick with us.
We want to thank you for spending your time with us today, and we'll talk to you on the next episode of Same Language, Different Font. Love you, listeners.